guys, it's Taylor. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I am here to bring you my BorrowAthon TBR. Now, what is the BorrowAthon, you could be asking? The BorrowAthon is a week-long readathon that runs from the 19th of March to the 26th of March, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. And the premise of this is to read books from your library or books that you have borrowed from a friend. Now, all of the books that I have are going to be from my library. So without further ado, let me get into the TBR. So there are also 6 challenges that you can read. I'm sure you can combine them. You can do whatever you want. These are just ideas to help you pick your TBR. Now, with challenges, I usually try to find one book per challenge. So I have 6 books here. So let me get into the challenges and show you the books that I have to fulfill them. So challenge number 1 is a book to purchase. So it's a book that you're wanting to read to see if you like it before you purchase it. And for that, I'm going to go with The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. Now, I have read Wondrous Strange by Leslie, and I absolutely loved that book. Now, this is a female gladiator type revenge story, and I'm all about that. And I'm really excited because this has got some pretty good reviews, and I want to see what the hype's about and see if I'm going to enjoy it. I think I will because it's gladiator Roman times, and I'm kind of one of the things I'm obsessed with is gladiators in like Roman times, like early Roman times. So the second challenge is to read a graphic novel, and for that I'm going to go with Anna's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. Now, I'm probably saying that wrong, but phonetics. I don't feel like looking it up. I'm really lazy, and I know that's really bad, but I feel like everybody struggles through an author name at some point in their lives. So this is a graphic novel about a girl named Anna. She ends up falling into a well, and she has kind of this life. She's pretty much embarrassed by her family. She has given up on fitting in at school, and she's very self-conscious about herself. But really all that she has needed is a friend, and she ends up finding a friend at the bottom of the well. That's all I know. And apparently this girl has been dead for a century. So she's gonna find a friend, and she's a century old, I guess, or she's been dead for a century. I'm really excited because I love graphic novels. The third challenge is to read a book by an author that you've never read, and I'm actually going to go with Pivot Point by Casey West. Now, Casey West is known for her young adult contemporary books, and I recently found out that she kind of dabbled in a little bit of fantasy, and I'm all about that fantasy life. Not the video game. There's a video game called Fantasy Life, and it's really good, but besides the point, this is one of her 2 fantasy novels, I believe. And from what I understand, it's about this girl who is able to come to a fork in her life, and she sees both paths, and she can see kind of the future in both paths and how this is going to affect her, her family, and just in general her world. And so I'm kind of excited to see, because apparently some of the choices she makes aren't very good or have quite an effect on her and her family. And I think it's gonna be interesting because I've never read anything like this, and I'm always excited to find a new subgenre or like sub-point of fantasy that I've never read before, and someone who can see about 6 weeks into her future and decide which way to go is very new to me. The fourth challenge is just a book that's been recommended to you, and I'm going to go with One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The main character, her name is Emma, and she is married to her high school sweetheart Jesse, and at some point during their first anniversary, he goes off to do some kind of work, and at some point he goes missing over the Pacific, and he's just gone. So in an attempt to put her life back together, Emma goes home, and she finds one of her friends. His name is Sam, and she ends up falling in love with him. And when she has a chance to fall in love again and start to put her life back together, it turns out Jesse shows up. And so now she's got her husband and a new fiance. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how she's gonna handle her new fiance and her, what she believed, dead husband coming back into her life. The fifth challenge is to read a book with your favorite color on the cover. Now, my favorite color is green, and a lot of books have green on them, but I was like, well, if I could find something with like lime green, and my second favorite color is like this pretty like electric blue color, I'll go for it. Boom! Unhinged by A.G. Howard. It's got green and electric blue on it, two of my favorite colors, and I've actually already read the first book of this series. It's called Splintered, so I'm really interested to see how the story continues, and I've heard really good things about it. This is kind of like a Wonderland retelling, or if I'm remembering right, it's just kind of like a Wonderland retelling, or just an expansion of the Wonderland story. But I like I said, I'm really excited to get back into this because I don't know. I really, really thoroughly remember enjoying Splintered, so I'm really excited to continue on with the series. Final challenge is to read a book that features a library. Now, this was pretty hard for me because a lot of people were actually recommending this book of Fire and Stars because there are some main scenes that have a library in it. And I was like, I'm going to give it a shot because this is a book that I've had on my TBR since it came out. I think it's thoroughly interesting. It's about a girl who is set to marry a prince. She goes to visit his family. She falls in love with his sister. So, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I have never really read a book like this before. If I remember correctly, I've never actually read a book with either a bisexual or lesbian main character before. And to see that in fantasy is even cooler. So, I'm really excited, and I think this is actually going to be the first book that I start with because I've really been anticipating this book since last year when I heard about it. So those are the 6 challenges and the 6 books that I have to fill those challenges, and it's going to be quite a bit of reading, but I think it's going to be pretty easy because a lot of these books I've been looking forward to, I'm really interested in, so I'm really going to hope that I don't end up hitting that mid-readathon slump, because I have so many books that I can choose from, and I'm going to be able to just kind of flip if I feel like I'm not feeling it. I can come back to it later. So I'm really, really, really excited for this readathon, and I'm really glad I found it. So if you're wanting to join, I'm going to put the hosts' channels down below, and I believe I'm going to put the Goodreads or Twitter down below in the description as well. So thank you so much, and if you're going to join, come join us. I'm really excited. There's going to be sprints on Twitter. There's probably going to be a whole lot of other fun stuff going on. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!